it all comes down to this. Welcome to the final back nine of the 14th Falcons flight. This is presented by Limber Disc Golf, supported by Innova, and this coverage is brought to you by the patrons of Park Pro and PDGA Canada. This is played at the Aspen Meadows East course, the more challenging, more panic-inducing, tighter course of the two on the property here. It is a tied for the top-rated course in Alberta. Here are your players vying for this top spot at the tournament in Alberta.
I'm Ben Loggains. That's me there on the left. 3 under is just good enough to hold my edge over Miguel, who's also 3 under for the round. Casey and Noah, we saw them on the front nine trying to make a really aggressive push, and in the end, everything they got, they kind of gave back, and it ends up being a wash.
Yeah, there's two storylines here, as you can see from these overall scores. The first-second battle between Ben and Miguel, and then many, many players pushing for that final podium spot.
Okay, hole 10. Starting off the back nine here, this is a typical par 3 across a bowl, so it goes downhill and then back up, so you're kind of shooting straight across the valley. And you just got to figure out some way to deal with this one main aspen tree in the middle. Backhanders are going to go to the right of it, either low with a mid or fairway, or then high with a powerful putter play. And forehanders will obviously go around the left side and then challenge that spruce tree. If you make a mistake, you'll have some kind of fuzzy putt from these aspens. We'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, Casey's going to show us the forehand on the left side. This is one of the easier holes to score on the course. And the way that things are shaping up for our lead card here, these guys are going to want this one bad.
That was so close to exactly what he wants. He's throwing that A3 there. I think maybe a little faster disc would have served him, but this looks good from Noah.
Great shot from Noah. That backstop provides a lot of good kicks like that one.
Beautiful.
I think
this is an envy for me. This is a really overstable envy. I'm trying to put flex on it, and I just pull it out of my hand.
Kind of looking for the same shape as Noah. A little flex over.
Yeah, I was just in a hurry to get my body around there if you saw that, but my plant foot kind of swung around to the right a little. Wanted to look at it before it was out.
Yeah, this is a nice flight from Miguel, just kind of missing his line, wanting to keep it a little further right.
Yeah, undercommitted maybe? I don't know. I've landed in a good spot here, so pretty straightforward up and down. This little nose-up approach shot, something I've worked on a lot the last couple of years.
Yeah, that's a great shot. Is he going to give it a run?
He's a dangerous man.
Oh, I thought he had it.
Just not quite over the rail.
Let's see what happened here.
Just need an inch of extra height. Man.
Getting all the
feel
bounce
that one.
and body language. Yeah, I know that feeling.
You know that hip thrust. Trying to give it the little extra.
Little bump over.
That's a common spot over there on the left side.
It's the ugliest rough around the basket, I think. Gives you the least opportunities to make your putt. Miguel gave it a really good effort, swinging some shape to get it around like that.
It's fun when you make it. It feels like some putting league stuff.
Yeah. You get obstacle course putt.
Get another look at Noah. He cheats this right side a little bit here through these little windows that aren't really where he's trying to go, but close enough. There's a lot of branches that reach into this fairway.
Mm-hmm.
Unless you really, really peer it, you kind of got to get lucky through a few of them.
Yeah. Take what the course gives you. Hole 11, par 3, 306. This one is a blind hyzer up and over. Not just up and over the hill, but all of the players making their best effort at it will go over the trees entirely. These aspens are fair but tight, so the earlier you go into the rough, the more challenge you have. Anything early is a pitch out back to the fairway, but as you get closer to the end here on the left side, which is a common place to land, you'll have big enough gaps to make some secondary efforts to get closer to the basket.
Yeah, like we said before, it's not top tier power required, but just baseline 400 feet of power required to go up and over the top. And other than that, it's just about experience and knowing where it's at.
Yeah, so it absolutely favors players that have played this course a lot. It's the muscle memory of knowing how high and how much hyzer you need to get there.
That's a cool drone shot there, how he got like perfectly centered over the top.
Yeah, shout out to the Park Pro camera team. I know Andre flies the drone, but Matt and Sean, and I think at times Alana as well, putting in good work to bring us this beautiful coverage.
That is settle down. So that's, you can't control this. Like you have to bring the disc in steep like that. And then the disc is spinning down the slope when it lands. So you really just kind of hope you hit some clumpier grass. That the same mistake Casey made in the first round, was pulling it to the right. But wow, does he get away with it?
Great result. Yeah, as you said, there is no good angle to bring the disc flat into this green. You are always bringing a potential roll in.
This is a little inside.
A little high on the hill, I think, in the grass.
4 on 12.
Oh, is that a person?
I think that was the tree.
Yeah.
I think.
Did you hit the lady with the water bottle?
I think so. It is a little bit sketchy, this area of the course. There's like 4 holes that are all in the same kind of spot. And that's going the same way. Like people just kind of got to be aware. But it's blind for them and it's blind for us.
Yeah, there's no way other than, like you said, people yelling 4 on 12 to make that better. It's just the way the course shapes up. Maybe having 20 spectators crowding the tee box like that isn't ideal at any time, but you could still hit players that were out there. Oh,
Outside, right?
It's down the slope there. I can only kind of give it a nose up, slow bend with some height. But
that's a great effort considering the speed control you need not to have a huge comebacker.
Noah, a threat from down the hill with the pace. So I think Noah probably was planning for a big push today, and you can kind of see the look on his face. It's like he's probably just trying to battle it out for third now.
Yeah, absolutely. You can only work with what the course gives you, and the course definitely took a good opportunity from him there.
But if he relaxes a bit, he could just accidentally reel off a big old string of birdies here.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the tools to play the rest of the course for birdie, even if it's not advisable on most days. And it only takes 1 hole for a big number to come up, and that could happen to yourself or Miguel at any time.
Miguel and I have had quite a few rounds here at Aspen Meadows together, but we haven't quite been in this position before where the two of us are way out in front of the rest of the field. Good birdie from Casey with a little tickle off the leaves on the drive. That's a good one to get. Okay, hole 12. Par 3. Don't let that fool you. It's a par 4. Just not on the scorecard. Set up a drive here. You just want something straight, maybe a little stable to fade through this gap, I think, to make it the biggest. And just land somewhere in here on the flat. I think a little bit of left-hand finish is ideal to get you off of these trees on the right. Then you see all this OB short and right and left and long to this postage stamp of a green that crowns and slopes away in every direction. Every bit as unfair as I just made it sound.
It is one of my favorite holes on the course to play, but it is also one of the most punishing when you don't execute well.
This is what I wouldn't mind seeing some changes here to the OB to make it more tempting to go for it, because it would be a fun one to go for if there was even the slightest bit of risk-reward balance. But as it stands, we're all playing kind of tight, tense little layups and then trying to pitch across.
Yeah, it's not advisable to ever go for this one, even if you do have the power. It would be interesting, and I don't think it's possible because other tee boxes are very close to the tee we're playing here. But that same fairway, 80 feet farther as a par 4 or something,
Oh, yeah.
I think could be an interesting change as well.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, all of us on this card have the power to park this hole. But that's exactly what I'm looking for. That's an overstable NV. Through the gap, finish a little softly left.
Looks like perfect position for me.
Yeah, I went with the slower disc there because I'm nervous enough that I'm throwing harder than normal.
Mm-hmm.
And you really just don't want to be trying to lay up and then accidentally throw it long. I've seen that from quite a few folks that throw the mid-range here. Ooh, get a look at Ryan Watson in the background, looking like the Sasquatch.
Ooh,
Casey, this is pulled and it's not going to come back. So I don't know where. Okay, yeah, there's the little fingers of inbounds there that he crossed over. So he'll have a 35-footer to save a bogey. Is that right?
Yeah. Right. He's out on his second. It's bogey at best for a par 3.
Okay, this could be trouble for Miguel. If you get sucked into throwing a tomahawk into this green.
Yeah, that's not good. That's way out the back.
Okay.
And that's the effect of this being a par 3, right? Once you're off the fairway, you do not want to take a bogey, especially in this 1-2 position that you and Miguel are in. Makes you try and force the landing on this green, and it is a tall order from a lot of these positions. Do not roll.
That's probably good that hit the pole. He could have gone out long out the back there.
Yeah, a big skip can put you out in any direction on that green.
This little baby forehand, normally a staple of my game. I used to play a little ultimate myself.
Yeah, pretty sure you only get it in one direction.
Okay, they're just
We talked about this, right?
they're just trying to figure out, because this is OB in a corner, right? So he gets 2 meters, and so he wasn't sure if he can take 2 meters off of both or if it's diagonal. And with the rules nowadays, it's diagonal.
Yeah, you can't take a meter in and then take another meter in 90 degrees.
Right. Or in this case, 2 meters. Yeah.
Well, 2 meters on one side, 1 on the other.
Yeah.
2 for the bar. Yeah. We're just having trigonometry lessons on the hole 12 green here.
Yeah. Wow.
Boom.
Casey's so casual. He doesn't worry too much about this third place thing, so you can tell now that he's out of it. Just like no thought. He's more in contention. I think you see him take a little more time there, but
yeah, hard to know if that's a bad or a good thing for Casey. He obviously performs under pressure very well all the time.
Yeah.
But when you're loose, I don't think anybody plays poorly when they're feeling loose.
It could go either way.
Another look at yours. I thought yours was perfect. You ended up just a little bit pinched off.
I'm fine with it. I'll take the shaved off distance there. That's all good. If you get far enough left there, you can have a peek around the backside.
That's true. Look at our scoreboard.
Okay. 17 down at the lead there. 4 back is Miguel at 13. Miguel's playing a great tournament here. So 14 under, as I said before, was the tournament record coming into this year. So we've had good weather this year, so I think that's part of it. And a couple changes over on the west side maybe contribute to that as well. But things are really stacked up from 9th up to 3rd.
Hole 13, par 5. Uphill and tight off the tee. No matter what you do, you want to get to the top of this hill at the very least. Most of the players in this group will be opting to take even more because big drives will give you the opportunity to chip up into this keyhole green for eagle. You see OB start on the right here. Deep shots will unfortunately leak out, and then the entire green becomes encompassed in this OB. Lots of interesting access to this green, depending on how risky you want to be, and even sometimes advisable from a bad angle to throw one over the basket, over the OB lines, so that you can take your meter in and be inside the circle without having to exercise all that control. I suspect we'll see a lot of big shots off the tee here.
Yeah, the front half of this hole is all about shot making, hitting the fairway, and the back half of the hole all about decision making.
Absolutely. Noah was able to capture that eagle in the first round. If you haven't seen that coverage, check it out. He threw a similar shot to this, but just with some more finish to the left in round 1.
Yeah, I've changed my play here for some reason. I don't remember what's going on, but this is a boss, a red boss. Trying to hit the fairway and then probably fade left for safety.
Were you doing the Wraith flip up in round 1?
Yeah, to try to hold straighter, but I'm just a little more confident hitting the gap. So I was content to fade into the left. That's the disc selection there is making me feed left.
Yeah, depending on what these mid-fairway Aspens are doing, you'll still have a hyzer into the green if you want it there.
Yeah, if I landed in that little bunker there, so it'll be not an eagle play, but birdies are good.
Casey's forehand getting caught up at the top of the hill. He's probably long enough to not be in bad trouble, but he was definitely looking for some more.
This is high, but it's through the gap. That's fine.
Yeah, top of the hill.
So he can throw the over-the-top hyzer to try to grab the eagle, or he can very easily just slide a shot down short of the OB, pitch over, and take one of the easier birdies you'll have out here. Casey trying to make a decision here of where he wants it. What I was saying about this second half of the hole being all about decision making is you got to figure out where you like to be. And I think this is one of the most important holes to get your practice rounds in on, so that you know when you're throwing a layup where you want your layup to be. You know, the left side, straight, or off to the right, are all about how you like to bring a shot into this green. Wow, Miguel getting aggressive here.
Yeah, Miguel with a great shot.
That's usually when you see someone go for it from back there, they go up and over. But Miguel going up the gut and landing in the skinniest part of this fairway. That's probably 20 feet across there.
Yeah, these 2-3 mid fairway Aspens really dictate what you're given and what you should be trying to take. No going out and around them. This one's looking like
Perfection.
it's perfect. Never mind. Wow, what a shot from out of position for Noah.
So Noah going to be 4 under for the tournament, playing this hole twice. Eagle.
Which is better than half the field played for the whole tournament. So that's very impressive.
So I'm close enough here that I'm getting a little tempted about the green, but you're so far left that this is easy. And with a 4-stroke lead, being able to go jump putt, tap in a birdie, it's hard to argue with that math. Ooh, don't want to hit the pole. Things can get weird on the screen if you hit the pole.
Yeah, there is a roll for everybody if you hit the pole or catch a weird edge.
So I've actually got to look at the eagle here.
Gonna float
Gonna
one up.
give it a high softy. I'll take a birdie.
Miguel also with eagle look. Just low. When you're looking at that basket from that angle, that back OB starts to creep in at you.
So there's a birdie to get to 18 and maintain the lead on Miguel. I'm starting to feel comfortable here because Miguel's running out of holes. And now the gap between me and Miguel is the same as the gap between Miguel and Casey.
And now Noah bringing that third place into 1-stroke contention.
I like Miguel's huck face. He's got fills the cheeks with air, right? So that's part of the routine. Then you know you're breathing, which is probably a good idea.
Yeah, breathing in pressure situations is big.
Okay, hole 14. This is a tweener, unless you're lefty, I think. But the big flex shot, lefty backhand or righty forehand is the way to park it. We don't see it very often. Over the top hyzer to a layup 80 feet short in the fairway or crashing the rough on the left is another way to just guarantee your 3 here. If you try to go for the green with the big hyzer over the top that fights through the right side, there's not really ways to get up and down for the par from that right side. Sometimes there's some distractions for the folks on the tee box behind, but I think not so much today.
Yeah, this one's definitely about not leaving your hyzer too far to the right if you are doing that over the top play. We saw Noah do it perfectly in round 1, finding the center of the fairway. One that we don't see many birdies on, maybe 1 or 2 per tournament round.
Yeah, that's good again from Noah. Yeah, so if you're going to hit an edge of the fairway, you want it to be that left edge, which is what Noah does there. That PD2. Got the height. It's left enough. And right in the fairway. What I'm looking for.
Yeah, this one ended up playing a third of a stroke over par. I think this is one that a lot of players that do end up with bogeys or worse could benefit from game planning. Like, we all think that we can do that shot, and I think we all can, but to do it consistently, hitting such a narrow fairway like that is a very, very difficult task.
So Casey making the business decision there, not biting off the forehands. It looks like he's trying to take his battle with Noah seriously here for third.
Yeah, I think we've seen him birdie it with the forehand in tournaments prior.
Oh, yeah.
But not going to go for it today. The left side generally a little less punishing, but if you're in deep enough, all of this rough is still Aspen Meadows rough.
Yeah, Miguel went in short. He's 20 feet longer there. He's golden, but... Wow, that's a good out. It's a really good out.
Still a putt to make, but from that position, you couldn't ask for any more. Casey going to run this putt from downtown.
Oh, it's low. Accidental layup, I think, there from Casey.
Still a great effort from that much distance.
I'll give you a look at an on-purpose layup here. I want no part of a 15-footer at this point. It's just the only way I'm giving this thing away is if I start zinging that by and zigzag putting.
Yeah, a mistake you can make on this hole is to have your layup skip too far left, and then you'll have an in-circle putt from underneath a very, very difficult to navigate tree.
Okay, Miguel needs this to stay in touch. And he's got it. Got some emotion trying to get it going.
Great putt from Noah.
That's a typical Noah putt there. High in the chains, firm.
Tapping in for you guys. Yeah, Miguel trying to hype himself up. The round is closing out slowly here, and there's not a ton of holes left to deal with the task of a 4-stroke comeback. Getting the stank face on, getting it up there.
Leaning back a little bit there. I think that's maybe what put him in there a little shorter was.
Ooh, and you see him favor his shoulder a little bit here. That's not a good scene with only 4 holes left to play. Hole 15, par 3, 299. You have seen this site before on the Aspen Meadows courses. It's all about not going OB left over this barbed wire fence. Use the space you have in the air. A lot of flip up or force over putters. And this, of the 3 holes this style, I believe is the one that Casey often goes to a sidearm flex shot to use that extra space on the right side.
Yeah, and then just trust the putt from the right side.
Yeah.
Ooh, this looks good.
Noah using the right side as well, getting a perfect kiss off a tree.
Making full use of the right side. That was going to be good without the tree, but
Many shots
even
are.
better. Okay, going to the proxy here, looking to use that putter to hold over to the right. That was way off the line I'm looking at.
Yeah. We've seen a series of good kicks off that OB side, and you're the benefactor of another one there.
Well, it's hard to get in there. You know, if you imagine that the basket was left of that rough and you had to get through it, you'd feel like you got really lucky to get through it onto the other side, right? So it makes sense that it kicks most of the disc back out.
It's funny because I must be an elite disc golfer then.
You've managed to find your way in there.
Multiple times during this exact tournament that we're commentating over.
Yeah, the low ones, like if you're low, I can see that it skips in low quite a bit, but if you really shank it up high, then it kicks it out.
Ooh, Miguel
Wow,
with
the
like
tomahawk.
ultimate style overhead, upside down tomahawk. Great shot.
Thick. Pancake style.
Yeah.
This is like muddy down here in the bottom.
He's just floating it up there with an understable disc and doing it so well. Great shot.
Yeah, that's the old man shot. I'm master's age here at this point already, you know, so I got to show off the old man stuff with the flippy disc.
Ooh,
Casey with the gap? Oh,
That's more than anyone could ask for through all those branches.
that would have been fun.
Miguel gets in for his par.
Yeah, running out of holes for Miguel.
Yeah, unfortunately, you gave him an opportunity to get a stroke with your tee shot, and he couldn't capitalize on it. He is going to wish he had that one back and needs to make the best of those opportunities coming into these final holes.
I'm sorry for the viewers that he isn't making more of a push, but I couldn't be happier about it.
You see Noah and Casey tie it up here, assuming that they're both tied for third, but there were some guys pushing on other cards. Noah with the kiss blow.
We're getting kisses. Every hole out here, two-stroke swing is possible. See the beautiful horses. So these horses, I've heard stories, they've just been out there since Rudy bought the property. They were left there by the previous owner, and they just look after themselves. That's the stories I've been told.
They just live there.
If that's not true, let us know in the comments. But my understanding is that, yeah, they, they're not wild, but they're just unkept.
Stewards of the property. Connell and Jace looking to close the gap to Casey and Noah for that third place spot. 2 and 3 strokes back respectively.
Okay, hole 16. This is another tunnel shot pipe dream, par 4, 475. You can throw a slower disc and leave it short of the boneyard. You'll see here on the left, a little pile of bones under that spruce. Or maybe a fairway driver or something faster and try and push it all the way up to this skinny aspen in the middle or just past. It is possible to get it all the way up here to the center of the fairway and then take a 40-footer stab for eagle. Shots that find themselves way to the right, there is a backside around where you can take a hyzer in, which we've seen before. Yeah, this is one you definitely want the 3 on.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's got to get understable, and that's got to get far. Okay.
So it's still possible for him to get a birdie from there.
Oh, absolutely. You're only 350 from the pin at that point.
I'm going back to this red boss, which doesn't make sense from a shape standpoint, but I'm feeling confident at hitting lines with it right now. And I actually pushed really far forward there.
Yeah, in
and
the
got
rough,
back to the edge.
but in a position to chip out and still save a par.
I'm actually gonna have some kind of a look at birdie, I think.
Oh yeah, Casey getting everything out of that Falcon sidearm.
Wow. So that would have been roughly parked on the old par 3 location.
And that's like 420 feet uphill sidearm.
So what, that's gonna be 55 feet for the eagle? Something like that?
Yeah, something like a 50-footer.
That looks a lot like the mistake I made.
And a common mistake for the hole. A lot of people throw a hyzer flip kind of shape to keep it straight up the track, and leaving it too far to the right or getting a little too much turn is very common. That was a little pinched, going to go to his infrequent sidearm.
I'm surprised not to see him use the backhand here, but okay. That'll be a par.
Yeah, he'll have a putt he can take at it. You do run the risk of going OB out the back. The green is quite guarded, and even, safer putts can catch some of those other aspens, catch edge, and roll up the back.
Miguel looking skyward.
Yeah, Miguel in the rough and covered in chalk now. Trying to chop one out there. You look like you're trying to sneak one underneath with the driver.
Yeah, I have a play where I can skip this over. If I'd gotten that on the ground earlier and gotten the flare skip, I could have gotten a look, but
Yeah, I think that tree took a lot of the speed out of it.
I'm very much in match play headspace right here with Miguel, where I'm not trying to take any more strokes. I'm just trying to make sure I don't give any up.
Yeah, Miguel actually bringing OB into play if he didn't catch one of those trees. There's enough to rely on a stop, but not when you're trying to chase somebody down for first place. Oh,
Ooh.
off the top with his eagle bid.
That would have been sweet. We have not seen an eagle on this hole in coverage for sure. Casey showing a lot of disappointment there, not so much because it matters for the tournament's sake, but just because we love to play disc golf, right? You want to make stuff happen. It's fun.
Yeah, and honestly, his personal standards are to make putts from that distance.
Yeah, that's fair. But that's a birdie. Birdies are good.
Yeah. Eagles on coverage are also cool.
They're very cool.
Par for Miguel, par for you. Not the shakeup Miguel needed. Going into these last two as well. Not holes these 17 and 18 that you've typically made mistakes on.
There's some footage of There's always big backups on 13. This is a flashback to hole 13's fairway. And a couple years ago, Miguel and I had a wrestling match on coverage there. We ran it back. It's become a tradition as a way to kill the time in the backup.
Hole 17, par 3, 391 feet. This is a big hyzer that requires, I want to say, 450 plus power. You'll see the staked OB here, picking up anything that's sawed off and short. Common mistakes for people right on the edge of that power is to push it a little bit too flat, a little bit too straight. But this group should have at least 3 players with the power to put this one in the circle.
Yeah, obviously, like you said, the most common mistakes are pushing it pin high but straight, or to leave it short and left in the OB. So
yeah,
we will see.
playing a half stroke over par, and I've got to think that comes from a little bit of greed.
You see us checking in scores there. Mason Howard there, Cranbrook, young superstar, budding star on the bag for me. I like having a caddy. I'm going to take the literal weight off the shoulders.
Oh.
Okay, that's decent from Casey there. He's
Want to do what I did in the first round.
edge of the circle, I want to say,
Yeah, 40 feet, maybe less.
but through the Aspen, he'll be.
Noah, a guy that can definitely get there.
Yeah, Noah, you'll see him drop that front shoulder to pull the disc up.
Yeah, that's just a bit more inside than
That might be
Casey, and that
going
might
left.
be the
Too
result he
left.
needs.
That is two left.
And out the back, like far end left. Wow. Yeah, you hear Casey saying what? Because that did look like a great line from the tee.
Yeah, I was saying there about him dropping his shoulder. He actually didn't drop his front shoulder enough. So then the disc was just flatter and gliding and gliding.
That's scary.
That's great. You got to cut it tight to the corner. And that's how you do it, Jesse.
It's perfect, but knowing what we saw with how much play you have to the left, if that takes any more speed off that disc, that could be
That's the
worrisome.
leaf I was aiming for.
Of course. Miguel, Cloudbreaker. Leaving his wider, but flatter, giving it some room to move laterally.
This is conservative, I want to say. Yeah, so he'll be taking that 45, 50 footer.
And that's, yeah, we're not seeing the results we needed here for Miguel or Noah. Noah wanting to get that one stroke on Casey, and this is a place, when you're blind from the tee, you could very much do so. Wow.
Yeah, Miguel, I want to say parking this on a steep hyzer, maybe not what he has the power for,
Asking for everything he's got.
but the putts from 50 feet, he does have the power for that. He's got it.
Yeah, no quit in Miguel. Obviously very aware of the scores at this point, wanting to put that one in. Casey tapping in his birdie. And Noah now.
Yeah, this was a tricky situation because he didn't actually have room to stand without having a foot out of bounds. And so we'll see. Do you see what I mean here? How like if he takes the relief farther in, his back foot now is going to be out of bounds, and you can't have a supporting point out of bounds, so he'll have to lift it up.
Yeah, no
So
good
then
stance here.
He took a whole bunch of backhand stances where his right foot was out of bounds, and that was frustrating.
Yeah, and he doesn't often putt onto his left foot for like a cheeky foot pickup or something. You're in for birdie.
Yeah, so I told you in the first round that I'd practiced this a ton and couldn't get it there. And then I got it both tournament rounds. I guess I just need the nerves at the old age. I need the juice.
Get the juice. And this, barring catastrophe, seals the deal for you and Casey, unless one of those chase card guys has made a very, very big move in the last few holes.
Yeah, there's really no way to give up 5 strokes on this last hole. I could jump putt all the way down the fairway at this point. Yeah, the mood on the card is definitely relaxed at this point.
Yeah. Well, with what we've set in mind, walk us through how it felt.
Ooh. Well, I mean, the tension, normally that doesn't leave your body until you tap the very last putt out, definitely left when I got up to the green on 17 and saw that I was safe. And I kind of realized at that point, I think I've got it down now. So now we're just, we're all playing it out, trying to put on a little bit of a show for the gallery here. And I'm excited to see Casey have to throw this back in because I've only ever seen him throw the sidearm over the top.
Yeah, big gallery developed by this point.
The other thing there, that last hole, you're playing beside Rudy's old place. And, Rudy passed away the year prior during the event. And, man, I said it in after this tournament that I feel like I'd never felt him more than this year. But all the work that people had put in was unbelievably evident when we got there. The T signs that you see there behind, and it's pretty clear the statement from the community is that this event will just keep on getting better.
Yeah, you definitely felt the love for Rudy from the players and the staff. And you felt the love that Rudy put into this place all the years prior.
That's pretty.
Nice shot from Noah there. That's going 100 feet long without a little help from the trees. Yeah, so I was pretty pumped there to get the putter down the gap. Again, finished with a birdie. Every stroke here is working on a new tournament record, which I'm not aware of it. Oh my goodness.
Casey for the gallery. That is
There
a
it is.
big putt.
Where was that guy all weekend, hey?
I mean, he's brought second place into the one-stroke game
Okay.
from, what do you think he was, 25th or something after round one?
Yeah, he was way back. The big fist pump from the big fella.
Yeah, the
Casey's had his fair share of success at this property. What is he, a 3 or 4 time champ, I want to say? 4 time?
Yeah, he's won it more times than I've attended.
Yeah. He didn't get that hat for no reason. Okay, so Miguel just needs not to bogey. So that will keep him at 14 and secure second place. Man, that snuck up as a battle for second out of nowhere. Hey?
Out of nowhere, yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely setting in for me here. I won this 2 years ago and kind of thought lightning in a bottle, like maybe a one-time thing, catching an A tier. So to be able to get it again, being older, definitely caught me off guard.
Yeah. Congratulations to you for the second time. And I think this is one of the most prestigious tournament titles you can get in Canada. Not only is the field always very competitive, but the course has never let up, always challenging you. And you rose to the challenge, my friend.
Yeah, that brings it all back right there. Yeah, the first time here I had big time waterworks. Feel a lot of emotion for a lot of reasons, but feels pretty good. Good card mates too. These are all guys I've played with a lot over the years. A lot of battles with these guys. Getting the hugs from Donnie. Getting to lift that Falcon's Flight trophy again with the foot, the severed foot. Chad Gamlin broke it off.
Guess first, shout out Gander Disc Golf and wife and family for the time away. Casey, always best traveling partner. Pushed me to be better as a disc golfer. I wouldn't be good if you hadn't come along. Miguel, the battle all day was tight. Yeah, the last time I won this was the last time Rudy handed this to somebody 2 years ago. So, and he told me there was a story about this foot that he would tell me later. And he never did. So someone else will have to fill me in. But anyway, feels good. I guess twice or it's luck, right? Yeah. Let's go.
Late in the day, these guys stuck around after their rounds to watch you finish it out.
Yeah, the support from everybody around you, you really feel the feels without a doubt, unlike any other tournament around. I feel like as far as Western Canada goes, this Aspen Meadows property is probably the closest thing we have to USDGC, where just being here makes you feel differently. Probably more emotional, I would guess, than USDGC, but
This is Alberta disc golf culture in a bottle. Camping on site, the side games, the camaraderie, the cold beers and hot sun and fire pit time. It's an experience like no other.
if you're watching this and you haven't been out here, you gotta get out here.
Yeah.
Put it on your calendars, come out to Falcon's Flight, and the event will only keep getting better as time goes on. Okay, this was the final event of our Canadian Disc Golf Tour, right?
I don't think we've seen Saskatchewan coverage yet.
Oh, okay.
But
So we see here Casey holding down first place on the overall tour. $1,000 payout for first. Brian Freeze overtaking Thomas Gilbert with his points from this event. Into second for $500. And we see Max and Noah. So yes, still some points to be had. Yeah, you're right about that. So catch you in the next one.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, guys.
Peace.
See ya.